What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Red Zone Fiends. I'm Josh, as always. This is Frank.
Going, guys.
All right, week 2, baby. We got another betting segment for you guys. We're going to talk about betting. We're going to talk about game of the week. We're going to talk about fantasy. We got a couple good fantasy updates for you guys. So let's kick it off. What do you got for our week 2 bets, Frank?
All right, so this week I'm looking to come back to a two-leg parlay. Right now, I like the 49ers -7 against the Los Angeles Rams, or -117 on that, and then the other leg is going to end up being LA Chargers money line versus the Tennessee Titans. Combine those, you get plus 217. So Niners, I don't see how the Rams put up more than 13, 17 points on this defense.
Yeah.
There's no freaking way.
Yeah, I don't see
No
it
way
either.
at all. Niners look like the best team in the NFL.
Yeah,
last week.
Absolutely. Both offense and defense, man. I just don't see anybody beating them right now.
They're rolling. I don't see anybody really scoring on them. I mean, man, they paid a good price for Nick Bosa, and that defense is deadly, dude. So I'm comfortable. I'll go up as much as 9 points on that one. And if you guys can get 9 points and pay the extra dime, I would do that too, to tell you the truth. The Chargers money line against the Titans. I only feel confident in this one because the Chargers look really, really good against a Dolphins team that's playoff contenders.
Yeah.
And they hung right with them until the end of who's down to the wire, one of the best games last week.
Yeah, one of the best offenses in the league also.
So the Titans, they don't have any firepower really besides Derrick Henry. You stack the box, who you got? Forrest Tannehill to throw the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then they have all this talent. Yeah, I know you're going to miss Eckler and everything, but you still have good talent with Justin Herbert and the receivers with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. So plus the guy they got out of TCU. So I just see them being a little bit too much for the Tennessee. I'm comfortable as bet. That's where I go ahead and put down 50 with 117 back.
Nice. I like it. That's a pretty solid bet. All right, for my week 2 bets, I got a 3-leg parlay. I have 2 of them, but the same exact teams, but they're just a little bit different. So,
mind you guys, Josh did hit last week. Just throwing it out there.
That's right. 1-0 so far. So hopefully we keep the good luck rolling right now. So, okay. So the first game is going to be Bills versus Raiders. All right. So Bills, I understand they did not look good against the Jets. You know, they lost without Aaron Rodgers and
there's no excuse, dude.
There's kind of no excuse. The only thing I will say with that game is that Bills were going up against a Jets defense, and to me, they're like a top 5 in the league, top 5 defense, and Raiders just do not have that. As much as I'm a big Raider fan, when it comes to betting, I think this is a pretty easy win. So it's Bills versus Raiders. They're playing in Buffalo at Highmark Stadium. It's Bills -8.5. The over/under is 47, but I'm not going to mess with the over/under just in case it's a shutout. But I do think the Bills are going to come back extremely strong, and they're going to dominate the Raiders. Unfortunately, you know how bad that sounds. So that's just one leg of my parlay. My second match is going to be the Giants versus the Cardinals. Okay, so a little bit of the same thing with the Bills and the Giants. Giants do have some pretty good firepower, man. They got Waller. He is going to play. They got Saquon Barkley. That guy's going to eat this Sunday, man. He's gonna go up against the Cardinals defense, man. They're not gonna stop that guy.
I don't think the score is way worse than everything that could go wrong for the Giants last week against the Cowboys. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. It went horrible.
Yeah,
that wasn't probably the team that we're gonna see this week.
Yeah, and also the Commanders drove downfield all game. They just made mistakes themselves, like fumbling the ball. Their quarterback Sam Howell kept fumbling the ball. I think he had 2 fumbles in the red zone, so it shouldn't have been as close. So Cardinals, it looks better for them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the Giants over the Cardinals. They're going to play at State Farm at the Cardinals' home, but I don't think that's a big deal for the Giants. So the Giants are going to have -4. This is my easy win. Even in my survival league, I'm going to pick the Giants to beat the Cardinals. I'm for sure about this, even with the -4 points. So that's part 2 of my 3-leg parlay. And the last one I have is Saints versus the Panthers, okay? So they're going to play at Bank of America in Carolina. It is a divisional game, so it is kind of scary. I don't like going with those divisional games. But, I think Derek Carr's just kind of warming up. He did throw for over 300 passing yards.
He did get down.
So
he had a couple of mistakes. Could have played better.
Yeah.
But you can't argue with 300 yards and a touchdown and a win. You can't argue with that.
Yeah, so his defense kept him in the game, for the times he did make mistakes, but his defense is going to be there for this game as well.
And he threw that bomb on the right side of the line.
Yeah, he called it. He called it. I need a bomb. I need a bomb. So I think he's only going to get better with the Saints. The Panthers, they got with Bryce Young. I don't think he's gonna outscore the Saints.
What are they gonna put up against that Saints defense?
Exactly my
They're
point.
Really, really good.
Saints defense is pretty raw. So it is Saints -3. I'm gonna take that as well. Saints -3.
You might want to load the boat on that one. Now that you're talking about it. Just saying.
Okay, so the over/under is 39.5, but I'm not gonna mess with that just in case that is a blowout. I can see Saints putting up like 24 points. And Panthers only putting up like 7 or 9 or something like exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave that alone. So if we get the Bills, Giants, and Saints on those -8.5, -4, and -3 in a parlay, you get +600. So I'm gonna put my $40 down, and I'm gonna get $240 in return. So that is my first one of 2 bets I'm gonna make this Sunday. I'm pretty confident about that. I feel pretty good about it. And then my second bet is I'm going to do the same exact thing, but this time it's kind of like a security, security bet. If I lose that big one, I'm going to do the same exact teams, but I'm going to tease it. I'm going to add +6 points for every single team. So now it's going to be Bills -2.5, Giants +2, and then the Saints +3. I don't think I'm going to lose any of it. I'm pretty confident in this teaser. So when I put down 40, I'm only going to get $60 back, but it is the money I'm going to get back in return for that first bet if it doesn't follow through.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you're willing to bet that much knowing that you're going to win one of those. That's how confident you are.
Yeah, I'm extremely confident on that teaser bet, that +6 points on all 3 of them. But I have a pretty good feeling on the.
We can go 3-0. That'd be all good.
Yeah, hey, it'll be a great start. 3-0, baby. That's kind of what we're here for, right, boys? Make the bets, win some money.
If he hits this and goes 3-0, everybody tell a friend, like or subscribe to this YouTube channel. Okay, if he hits, all right.
Follow me. I'm gonna help you out. We'll win some money together. All right. So those are our bets for week 2. Pretty solid bets, I think. So let's turn it over to.
Let's go ahead and go to the picks of the week.
Yeah.
Like your favorite one. My favorite one, again, I don't like reporting this, but when it comes down to money and everything, this is where it goes. I'm loading the boat on the 49ers to cover that 7-point spread against the Rams.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see how they could compete with the Niners offense.
The Rams defense isn't as elite as they once were. A lot of the players, I know Aaron Donald's he's not on that superhero status no more. He's still elite, top 5 at his position, but he's not by far the best player in the NFL like he was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So, and then, they're a young team. They're rebuilding. Whether they like it or not, they're gonna be in rebuilding mode. Stafford's, and you know what I mean. Stafford's almost done.
No Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, no Cooper Kupp. The other guy that just replaced him is out too. Right?
Yeah, he got hurt in practice, so he's questionable. He's questionable this week. So
where do you get the points from?
Yeah, who are we gonna go to? So that's.
And if they're Niners are putting up 30 points on good teams, what are they going to do against that Rams defense? And they're always going to be on the field. They might stop on the first quarter, maybe the second, but by third and fourth quarter, they're going to be on the field so much because 3 and out. Maybe they'll get a couple first downs in the first half, but you're going to see a lot of 3 and outs caused by that Niner defense. So that one, I'm going 31-17, and I'm being nice with that 17. Most of them, they're going to be coming from garbage points.
Yeah, that Niners offense is just too good, man. They have too much firepower for anybody to stop.
I'm just more surprised that the Niners are only -7 and the Raiders are +8.5. That's more outrageous to me than the Niners. You know what I mean?
Are they playing in Santa Clara or?
I think they're playing in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Does it really matter though?
No, it doesn't matter. But the Bills and Raiders.
Yeah.
Raiders are playing in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So I kind of get why they gave them a little bit more points, but I don't see the Rams winning that one. All right, for my pick of the week, it goes back to my bet. You know, my for sure win goes to my survival mode. Giants are gonna beat the Cardinals. So, like I said, the Giants didn't look good in week 1 at all, but they had a tough game. I mean, week 1's always, you know,
a lot of teams look rusty.
Yeah, they had to just get the rust off, and then I just see them dominating. I think Tony Pollard's gonna go off. I'm pretty confident if Darren Waller plays, he's gonna at least get a touchdown, man. That's how confident I am in the Giants.
Barkley's gonna go off for them.
Oh yeah, that's right. What, Tony Pollard? I meant Barkley. Saquon Barkley's gonna go off for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. I got him in one of my fantasy leagues. So, now, game of the week, I want to say, to me personally, I like Kansas City versus Jaguars.
Yeah.
That's the game of the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is Kelsey 100%?
So Kelsey's not 100%, but he's been practicing this week, and they did say he is going to play. So we do have that target monster playing for that game.
Is he going to be on limited snaps, or do you think he's playing no matter what? He's going full go.
Knowing Travis Kelce, I think if he's going to play, he's going to want to play. I mean, I don't think they're going to tell him no, unless it's a complete blowout. But I mean, I think it's going to be a great game. That's also my game of the week too. You know, something fun to watch.
It's crazy how one player can just change the whole dynamics of a game.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like you're talking Tyreek Hill kind of status.
Yeah.
You're talking a tight end with that.
He's been doing it for years, man. It is crazy, man. Just all the targets he gets, and all the DBs following double coverage, triple coverage, the red zone targeting he gets. If you know, Mahomes has more options when he's out there, more people freed up instead of more people double covered when Kelsey's gone.
And he's sure-handed.
Yeah.
All those drops last week was just bad. Last on the opener.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Who was that? Who was that freaking receiver?
Oh, Kadarius Toney, man.
Oh, man. I've seen so many memes about him. Dude, I was like, man, if this guy's on social media and he sees these, it's like, what do you say to that?
Yeah, he kind of did get his little payback though, because Giants fans were just nonstop talking until Sunday, and then the Giants got whooped on. And Kadarius Toney was like, "Where's that noise at, man?" I loved it. I thought it was hilarious because he's kind of right, man. They got whooped 40-0.
Yeah, it's a bad look.
All right, so next up we got a real quick fantasy update.
Before we get into that, real quick. What happened with the Jags last week? They almost lost to the Colts. I mean, they started off really slow. First half, they started out really, really slow.
I just think that's kind of the Jags' kind of game. I mean, look at last year's playoffs, man. They played against the Chargers. They came back at halftime. What was it, like a 21 or 24 to?
Dude, it was big.
It was a huge deficit.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, man, but
playing a team against a team like Kansas City, though, who starts off fast and everything. If they got a healthy Travis Kelce, if they're starting fast, you're gonna start slow. You're gonna try and pull comeback on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And they just re-signed what's his name, the defensive end or the freaking
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones. He's
yeah.
Their defense looked really good against the Lions for a while.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think you can afford to give up a slow start like that.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to take the game, but the Jags should make it interesting. So hopefully they get off to a good start, and it's just I can see it just being a complete shootout, man.
Yeah. Okay. Injury. We have an injury.
Yeah, fantasy update. We got a couple of them. So Myers. From the Raiders receiver, got a concussion. He's done. He's not going to play this week. He might not even play next week. It was a pretty bad concussion he got. Caught the ball, took a flag for the team, and kind of won us the game. You know, you hate to see somebody get hurt like that, but
yeah, it does. So, what does that do for Hunter Renfrow's value?
Oh man, Hunter Renfrow has to play, man. He has to play.
He was only on the field for like 13, 14 snaps.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
And he even got passed up by the other guy, the one that came from the Chargers.
Yeah.
Was it Carter or something?
Yeah. So I don't know. So
you're paying the guy millions.
Yeah, if it's on a fantasy point, I wouldn't trust it. Right, I wouldn't play Renfrow. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
Garoppolo hasn't got comfortable with him. That he hasn't even caught through a pass to him in an NFL game. So it's only week 2, but still, I mean,
I heard he was freaking burning people, crumpling them all during preseason and training camp. I heard he was roasting people. So I
Yeah.
don't understand what's the problem there.
Well,
Like he knows how he's a capable receiver. I mean, we all know that.
yeah, the chemistry is probably just not there yet inside the games. But this week, he's definitely going to be needed.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the Raiders maybe be playing from behind all games. So Jimmy G and Renfro got to get it going.
And then for
Eckler, so 2 days ago, oh, actually this morning. So this morning, Eckler's coach said he's probably not going to play. He's probably doubtful. So if he does, yes, absolutely.
Not,
So
I mean, you know, not to say anything about his injury and anything, but that does hurt your fantasy outlook. You know, it affects your lineup pretty good.
So the question is for that is that if he somehow does play, are you going to start him? Would you start Eckler? Knowing he didn't practice all week, he's probably doubtful, and if they somehow suit him up, you feel comfortable playing him or?
Man, you know what? For passing situations, I think they're gonna need him to do what he does. So I can see him playing on limited snap base, but only on passing downs. You know, where he has to run around. So I don't think he's running in between the tackles, anything like that. So if he does play, I expect him to go mainly a receiver out of the backfield.
Yeah, it's hard to sit down Eckler even if he is on a snap count.
Yeah.
Unless you got a pretty decent running back that plays somewhat.
He always comes
easy
in
team,
what,
but
8 targets, anywhere from 5.
Yeah,
5 to
yeah,
8
he's a
targets.
red zone monster too, man.
You know what I
So,
mean? So
if he
yeah, he's a good talent.
yeah, but I would think more than likely they just sit him out for 1 week. You know, if he's almost ready, just hold him out for 1 week. I think the Chargers are going to take out the Titans without Eckler. So, all right, Kelsey, we already know he's going to be playing this week. He's been practicing all week. He's going to tear it up. I think he's going to do some damage. Like I said, if he's going to play, man. He's not going to want to do snap count, right?
Yeah, he's going to be in full well, but I do think they're going to have to, you know, I don't think he's going to play every snap. I think he will be on the snap count. I think Andy Reid will tell him, look, we're not going to have you play every play, you know. Just see how it goes. But he'll play majority. I think he'll play about 70-80% of the snaps. Yeah. But I just think they'll keep him on the snap count.
Okay, got it. All right. Mark Andrews, he's questionable right now. I'm not totally 100% on Mark Andrews. He is questionable, but he's playing a pretty stiff defense. Cincinnati Bengals rivalry game.
It's going to be another low-scoring game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be another low-scoring game. Ravens have a pretty good defense.
The Bengals didn't look very good. They looked lost, confused, off timing. Just everything was bad on offense. Bad is understatement. It was horrible. So, they might bounce back and everything, but like you said, 21-17 game maybe. Yeah,
to me it's gonna look like that playoff game they had last year, very low scoring game, and they had all their studs in too. So I think the rivalry games are gonna be close and low. All right, Darren Waller, for all you people that had Darren Waller, I'm one of them on my other league as well.
Go.
Yeah,
Let's
so
go.
Darren Waller is healthy. He's been practicing. The coach said he is going to play. He's fine. But we got a scare saying that he has that lingering hamstring injury that's been bugging him for a couple of years now. So just something to keep you updated on. He is going to play. I do think he's going to do some damage this week against the Arizona Cardinals. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he is too. I think Daniel Jones knows he has to play well this week. He's on the come on, dude. You just got a good contract. Overrated contract. You didn't deserve no part of that. What, 45 mil?
Oh, yeah.
Was it like that?
Something like that.
Nah, dude.
A lot.
30 at most with incentives is what he. And even when he played like last week, you don't even get 30. You get less than 30. You should have got 5 or 6 or something.
Yeah.
It's almost to the point where it's like, dude, that's just borderline. You just robbed the Giants.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, man. I'm just hoping as a Waller fantasy guy, have him on my team. So I'm just hoping he does.
I think he'll
At
get a
least
lot
this
of
game.
passes over the middle this week. I think Daniel Jones stays busy, goes to the check downs. Like the mid range. I think he can throw a lot of mid range this week. Just stay safe and everything. Darren Waller, he won't have hella yards or a lot of yards. He won't have like over 150 or something like that.
Yeah.
But he'll have a lot of catches. If you have him in PPR, don't be surprised you get like 9-10 points on a consistent basis from him. With throwing a touchdown every 6 games, 5 or 6 games. So you might get 4 touchdowns altogether.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the Giants' red zone monster this year. So if they could get into that red zone playing against the Cardinals, which I think they're going to be doing all Sunday, I think he's definitely going to get a couple targets in that red zone.
Yeah, very true.
All right, who we got next? We got boom or bust. All right, I got a couple I'm going to ask you. So here we go. We discussed them already. Mark Andrews, is he a boom or a bust?
I think he's a bust right now.
Yeah.
But, that's just because Lamar Jackson has to prove he can throw the ball on a consistent basis. Right now, he's not throwing. He didn't look very good. They looked off time.
No, he did not.
Bad. You got to prove to me first that he can throw the ball to you.
Yeah. Okay, second we got Tony Pollard versus the Jets.
He's going to be another bust, man, to me. That Jets defense, like you said, ridiculous defense. Kept them in the game against Buffalo.
Yeah.
And won a low-scoring game in overtime. Carried Zach Wilson. All Zach Wilson has to do is be a game manager. They'll have a good year.
All right.
But yeah, as for that, bust.
All right. Okay, here we go. Ramondre Stevenson. They are playing Miami.
I think he's going to be a boom. He's going to get his points. He'll end up... He's basically the offense for the Patriots, if you really think about it. He's not a spectacular runner, but he does shine a little bit inside the pass-catching game. So he's going to add points to you in PPR. And don't be with a sprinkle with a touchdown threat every here and there. So he could be boom this week.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to be a boom as well. Just don't forget, Chargers did put up around 200 rushing yards. Like you said, Stevenson is the Patriots' offense right there.
His workhorse. One of the very few workhorses in the NFL right now. So
if you have Ramondre Stevenson, make sure that boy is playing.
I got him, baby. Let's go.
All right. Go. Here we go. Last one. I got Jamar Chase versus the Ravens. Boom or a bust?
Man, I think he's going to boom this week. The only reason I say this is because Joe Burrow cannot repeat that performance. He knows that too. I know the division and everything, but you can boom in a loss in a low-scoring game in fantasy. You can boom. All you need is you can be the whole offense. You can be 120 yards receiving with a touchdown or two, and you still lose 17-24. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a possibility, but I think he does actually do pretty well against the Ravens. I think Joe Burrow is going to look for him often.
All right. I didn't have this one down, but a real quickie. T. Higgins, boomer bust. I do have him on my fantasy league, so I'm kind of curious. What do you got for me?
I think he's going to be a bust only because I put...
That's 2 of my players. You said bust, man.
Sorry. Jamar Chase is just going to get a lot of targets.
Okay, so Jamar Chase is the guy. Okay.
Yeah, they're just going to go to Jamar Chase.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's for my sake, let's hope Frank's wrong on these boomer busts. All right, that was
my best guess.
all right, that was mine.
Let's go the other way around. All right, boomer bust. Davante Adams.
Davante Adams is going to be a boom, absolutely a boom. Myers ain't there. Like we said, Renfro and Garoppolo haven't got that chemistry. It's only been week 1, but no targets at all. So his main guy has to be Davante Adams. Now the problem is that they are gonna start doubling him because Myers is gone. But if Garoppolo opens it up a little bit more, and also Raiders might just be behind the whole game. That's what I'm afraid of as a Raider fan. So I think Davante Adams is gonna get at least 8 catches. He's gonna go over 100 yards, and we're hoping for a touchdown. I think he's gonna get at least 1. So I think he's gonna be a boom.
Okay, boom or bust. Which, any of the Colts running backs?
Oh, bust. Yes, I don't believe. I think they got Zach Moss starting right now.
Over Jackson, probably.
Yeah. So, I just don't trust the Colts right now. even if they had Taylor, even if they had a Taylor back, it's just hard to even trust it, man. I feel like Taylor would put up the same numbers he did last year, and it was kind of a bust season because the year before that he was going off. But Colts are just like on rebuild mode, man. You got they might run it. They might run it some more because that rookie quarterback did get hurt. But still, if they play from behind, I can see them just trying to air it out, trying to come back. Yeah, it's just too hard to trust any of the Colts running back right now at this point.
All right, Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. You know, I'm actually not playing Tua Valoa because they're playing a pretty stiff, underrated Patriots defense. I'm starting Derek Carr over him because I think he's gonna ball out. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. Tyreek Hill. I don't think I could ever say Tyreek Hill is gonna be a bust, man. You gotta predict at least 80 yards from him every week. At least that's the bare minimum he's gonna get. He's gonna get at least 6 catches. So
there's the old saying: big time players make big time plays.
Exactly, he's their go-to guy. He's gonna have one monster play for at least 45 yards, and his yak averaging is just off the roof. So he's gonna catch that ball. He's gonna go. So I predict around 100 yards. Maybe not a touchdown, but I do want to say around like 7 catches of the week. I still think that's pretty good for me. That's around his projection. So I'm going to say boom. And that's the lowest. That's the lowest I think he's going to do. Yeah, that's the floor. So that's the bare minimum he's going to get. He can explode. He can go for another 150 yards for all we know. So it's either
200-yard performance, he might want to keep going.
Yeah, so those, he's going to get his bare minimum projections and then a really good chance of booming. So I'm going to go with boom on Tyreek Hill.
All right, boom or bust. The freaking, what is it, $15 million contract a year, man, and Odell Beckham Jr.
Odell Beckham Jr. Oh, man.
Was his contract 14, 15? Or is it 11?
It's 1 year, $15 million contract.
Come on, man.
So he did catch a pass. Lamar Jackson didn't look too good at all. Unfortunately, I have Lamar in one of my leagues. I just don't trust it, man. I haven't seen anything in years from Odell Beckham. He was questionable going into week 1. They're playing a rivalry game with the Bengals. I mean, I predict it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't see him. You never know with Odell. He might catch a bomb.
Yeah. Well, Odell, because he was only in here because of that massive contract he got. I mean, that was probably the worst. Not even go there. Anyway.
Yeah, so if you do have him on your flex, I would try to find somebody like Zay Jones or something like that. He's more trustworthy or somewhere around that level. So I would not trust Odell Beckham just yet.
All right. Boomer bust. Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. Let's go. Ooh, this is kind of a tough one. I do feel like the Raiders are going to be playing from behind. But last year he was getting a lot of catches for PPR. So I think let's see, the Jets were running all over. They were running all over the Bills last week.
I think the Raiders, the blocking scheme is not a bad scheme. It's really, that we can run the ball. We can get 3 or 4 yards every here and there. You know what I mean? When we're running the ball.
Yeah. So as long as we keep it close, I think Josh Jacobs. And even if not, I still think I'm going to go with the boom. Week 1, he didn't do training camp or anything. He wasn't there for training camp. He was holding
in the opener.
So he wasn't there for training camp. He was holding out. He got his contract. So I felt like they kind of slowly. I mean, they did use him a lot. He didn't look bad. It's just he didn't get too much push that last game. But I think it's only going to get better. So I'm going to go with around 80 yards. And then I'm going to go with around 25 receiving yards on like 3, maybe 4 receptions. And I can see him scoring a touchdown, actually. So I'm going to say boom on Josh Jacobs. He's going to get at least his projection points.
Nice. I can't argue with that. Now, this one's kind of a flex kind of thing, but DJ Moore.
Ooh, okay, DJ Moore. I had DJ Moore last week. Man, it's just so hard to trust, man. It's just
he's got Justin Fields thrown to him. Justin Fields didn't look good at all.
No, he's just I get it. His offensive line is pretty weak, so he has to run a lot. But I just feel like he abandons that pass too much.
It's like he'll make his first read, and then going into his second read,
then he's gone. Yes,
yeah.
then he's gone. I mean, a lot of great quarterbacks, they move around, and then they throw it downfield, man. So
he's looking to run. I just see him looking to run all the time.
So I do have DJ Moore on my team, but I am actually benching him this week because I think he is going to be a bust. He's not trustworthy yet. Until I see at least 4 or 5 catches a week, man, then I'll probably start him back. But I don't see him going for more than 50 yards, honestly. Probably not even a touchdown. Maybe 3 receptions, 50 yards, around there.
I like it. Sounds good to me. I have him in my fantasy. He didn't do nothing. 2 catches, 26 yards or something like that.
Yeah, his projections were high, but
just like, come on, man. I thought I got him in a good spot, but in the draft, but it's not looking too good right now.
Yeah.
They said, we're going to focus on making him a pass catcher.
No, it looked the same as last year, man. Exactly the same as last year, man. Justin Fields running for his life. So until I see some change, man, you're just going to be sitting on the bench. For a minute.
No, if we can, let's just talk about the AFC West, just the teams overall after the first week 1 of their performances. How do you feel about how each and every one of these teams did, and how do you rank them as, even being biased as a Raider fan, where do you see them as a power ranking 1 through 4, just in that division?
AFC West, okay. So, I'm going to go with the Chiefs, number 1, because they didn't have Kelsey. The week 1 matchup, their defense did show up. It's just their offense. Their offense, man, they couldn't even make a catch. They make those catches, and they're right there for the game. You know, they have it.
These guys are getting paid millions of dollars to catch a football.
Right.
There's high school kids running the same routes.
Put me in, I'll do it for
and they're still
10,000.
catching the ball. Why can that blows my mind.
Yeah.
These guys are missing. Running backs too. How are we going to be known as a pass catcher or like the power backs and not know how to catch a football?
Yeah.
Coming out of the backfield. How you not?
Right.
That's football.
Yeah. Let's send them our highlights, and then maybe they can learn something from us. But after the Chiefs, man,
here's where it starts to get a little bit trickier.
It does. You know, I'm gonna put the Broncos at 4. You know, they haven't got it together yet.
Yeah.
You know, the new coach, Russell Wilson, still kind of looking like Russell Wilson a little bit. He's a little bit better, but
let's from that Raider and Bronco game, Russell Wilson was almost 80% on his passes.
Yeah.
It's not like he cost them the ball game. There's no doubt they're wanting him to be a game manager and nothing special.
Yeah.
And they're trying to put up maybe 21, 24 points, but they're really relying on that defense. But at what point do you say, hey, maybe the Raiders' defense actually played pretty good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Giving up those little couple yards, you know, playing back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Daring them to throw the ball deep and then forcing them to throw them underneath and then just rallying to the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Waiting for them. A bend don't break defense.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, kind of on what you're saying is I don't think they're going to get worse. The Broncos, they're definitely not going to be worse than last year.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get better with Sean Payton coaching them. Russell Wilson didn't look too bad, you know, but I also didn't see him airing it out like he should.
Yeah, they played safe.
They did play safe all game, and that what happened. Can't win playing safe all the time, man.
Yeah.
So, the Raiders showed up and they stopped them when it really mattered, and Jimmy G kept it going when it really mattered. So tight game, but I do think the Raiders are better.
All right, so Broncos at 4.
Broncos at 4. So now I'm gonna go with the Chargers just over the Raiders. Chargers got to get it together on their defense, though, man. So when they do play each other, and they play each other twice a year, I think they're gonna split it. You know, but overall, playing other teams, I think the Chargers might have the better record on us because their their quarterback, basically. I mean, our offensive firepower is just as good, but I think Herbert is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and that's the reason why I put him over the Raiders.
Yeah, I definitely think those split games. I don't think it's too hard to sweep a team a divisional
Yeah.
foe like the Chargers to sweep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's difficult to do a sweep. The Raiders are not too far off from the Chargers. I don't think so. I think our defense is a little bit more underrated than people think. Yeah, there was no pass rush, but because we dropped everybody back into coverage, didn't blitz hardly the whole game really.
Yeah.
And then we're doing the bend but don't break, forcing Russell Wilson to throw the ball 3 or 4 yards to the back of the tight end. So, you know, some giving up the small ones underneath. Yeah, he hit 80%, but he only had what, 200 yards at most.
Yeah.
Around there. That's nothing in today's NFL. That's nothing.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So, I agree. 1-win, probably more than likely on the Raiders. Hopefully, Raiders get a sweep. But you know, just being Raider fans. But yeah, it's pretty close. I think the Raiders' defense is going to be a little bit underrated this year, and they're going to show up. Show up better.
You know, I'm okay with that list, but I'm actually favoring the Raiders going over the Chargers.
Oh, okay. I like it. Man.
The reason for that is because Justin Herbert hasn't proved to me he can win the big time game.
Yeah.
When's he win a big game? All this hype around him being an elite quarterback. He's had the talent. You know, they get hurt quite a bit often, whatever. They've had Keenan Allen hurt or Mike Williams hurt or something's going on with their back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I understand that, but if he's your top 3, top 4, top 5 elite quarterback, then there's no reason why you lose to the Raiders at the end of the season when the playoffs are on the line with a big game like that.
Yeah.
Everybody, every year, on paper, they're stacked. They're stacked on paper, but at what point do you say, you know what, they just can't perform? They can't put it together. Their coaching's not good enough. Yeah. Because if you go 1-1 and lose to playoff, the results go to playoffs. If you're losing to the Raiders team like that when the big game matters, then come on, how are you gonna be put over them every year after year after year?
Yeah, man.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that the Raiders aren't very good, but in that division, when you're trying to see who's the best in those divisions, the Raiders are the better divisional players, I think, than the Chargers.
Yeah.
Only because they cannot win the big game.
Yeah.
The Chargers, sometimes they'll be the team to beat Kansas City. Give Kansas City one of their 3 or 4 losses on the year, 2 or 3 losses, maybe 4 on the year. One will come from the Chargers, but they just can't put it together. And I still don't trust Justin Herbert to come up big for me.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely understand. Yep.
But all right, guys, that's all we got for today. We won't be able to do live this Sunday. Apologies for that. We'll go ahead and get back and try and do another episode sometime early next week or something. But don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel at redzonefiends.com, or not .com, but on YouTube. You can get all your merch that you need from Made by
Diana. Thank you for these hats. Beautiful. Hit her up. Hit her Instagram up. Made by Diana.
Good quality, good prices. So until next time, you guys, we'll see you.